Happy Mailbag Monday. Welcome into the CHGO Blackhawks podcast on this roasting hot Monday in Chicago. Jeans were a bad choice.
Oh, gee. Yeah.
So, it's going to be like this all week.
Yes.
I know, but no one wants to see my legs.
Well,
Hey,
That's the problem.
enough
Maybe we
super
can
chats.
maybe we could shoot you tighter and just separate you from the rest of the screen. Or I
That would
just-
be great.
What if I
I need
put
to
it-
just cut me off from
Get your-
here
get
down
yourself-
so no one can see my gut either.
get yourself some capris.
We can do that.
there
Or
you
just
go.
get some green leggings and you can make them look like jeans. Like a green screen.
or
Can we
you
do
could
that
put
Law?
anything you
Right.
want on there.
That's true.
I can make this graphic larger and you'll just cover up the
Sure.
bottom.
Yeah, just cover up everything below my neck.
It's
Thank you.
getting larger.
Hey, we hope you're doing well despite the heat. Hopefully you're inside in the air conditioning, listening to us, watching us on YouTube. If you are, smash that like button. Make sure you subscribe to our YouTube page as well. Podcast listeners, like, subscribe, rate, review, all that great stuff. I've been checking for 5-star reviews. Haven't been seeing them. I'm going to start guilt tripping everybody. 5-star review on Apple Podcasts or Spotify. It takes literally 13 seconds to do, and it helps us out massively. So please do that. And yes, Cricket is asking. Law is back as well.
Yes.
Hello, and Mario.
The whole crew.
And Mario's. Well, they can see that. He's right there.
I'm back. Hello.
The whole crew. We're full.
yeah.
We're back at full strength.
Jay, that's Greg, that's Mario. You should know us by now. Thanks for being here. It is Mailbag Monday. Let's get right to it. What are we waiting for?
Oh God, that means I should have been ready before we started.
Probably.
Do we want to talk about Mario's vacation for 2 seconds?
Yeah, I brought the Florida Heat back, so you're
thank you.
welcome.
Rude.
Welcome for all that.
Appreciate that.
A week in Florida sounded like a lot of beach time, pool time,
Yep.
being out in the sun. 4.5 days of rain in which you can't leave the house. You roll with the punches, but then you add in the mixture of 2.5-year-olds who are cousins and who are just the giggliest little two little kids you could ever see. It was they had fun, and I am glad to have had the experience, and I am glad to be back.
Should have went to that Stanley Cup game.
I should have, yeah. I should have
In
taken.
hindsight, you
I
should
should
have
have
done
taken
that
the
thing.
2-hour drive and tried to.
Some peace and quiet.
And then complained about how long the drive took.
Yeah.
And truly introduce yourself.
Should have
as a
done
member of
that.
the team.
And as I said, I did not get a firm commitment from Steven Stamkos. I tried my best.
That is
but,
upsetting.
we'll
Did
see-
you do like
we'll
to
see how
say
it goes.
anything where you stood outside his house with a
Yeah.
boombox of
Big
one of our
boombox.
shows?
It wasn't a boombox. It was just a big Italian beef, and I just held it up and I said,
was gonna
"This
say
could
that.
be yours."
Yeah.
The boombox playing Chelsea Dagger
There you go.
instead of
Yeah.
Peter Gabriel.
Yeah. Perfect. See, we got all the ideas.
So I just did have something to say, oh, that's not right. We don't
What's
want to go to that
happening?
one. But so when I left, it was basically we're gonna draft Demidov, and now I've seen a lot of Levshunov talk happening. What have I missed? I honestly wasn't keeping.
So-
attention. Shout out to my buddy Ivan. Go to Cliff Diver if you're ever in Thousand Oaks.
For those who were not here last
He's not
week,
paying for that. Knock it off.
Mario in law, and some people I'm sure watching the show. Early last week, there was some doubt on Demidov in terms of his KHL Russian contract, or some fear that he might sign another contract in Russia before he comes here. Now, this showcase is Dan Milstein showcase is happening soon. We don't know the exact dates.
I think it's
but
this week, is it? not?
yeah, I believe it's this
Yeah.
week. Demidov will be there with scouts. Again, his agent is North American, which indicates to me that his desire is ultimately to come here. So
and
that,
represents basically all of the big Russian stars in
Yes.
the NHL.
yeah. So that kind of
Right.
tipped the thing a little bit. And also, I would say a lot of people thought that maybe that was being spread by certain teams that might want Demidov to fall to them.
Canadians. Sorry. Excuse me.
Nice.
So we'll
Nicely
see. It did seem to shift, though, a little bit from Demidov to Levshunov last week.
Okay, just curious. Didn't know.
Listen,
what was
Dan
happening.
Milstein makes $0 while his player plays in the KHL.
Is that true?
Is that true?
He probably makes a lot more if he's playing in the NHL.
Yeah.
That's-
What's the rubles to
that
dollars
was-
calculation?
Yes, the euro to I'm sure playing
use the
MHL is not. I don't know. I thought everybody did, except
I'll look it up. Make your point.
whatever. whatever the currency is in Russia, I'm
In
sure
Russia, agent pays you.
Dan
No, it's
Milstein
the
will.
ruble. Yeah.
Okay, rubles.
1 ruble is $0.011 US dollar.
Right.
Not good.
So, yeah,
We'll see.
you can't pay Dan Milstein in rubles.
Okay.
probably could.
Sure,
All
you
right.
can, but he'd rather have dollars.
I would imagine so.
All right. Well, that is an efficient amount of time to get me set up for our diehard portion of our mailbag system here. So let's start with this question and comment from the Blue Kazoo.
Ah, nice.
Again, this comes from our Discord, which is a diehard only area, and he says, "My wife got me a diehard membership for my birthday / first Father's Day.
Nice move.
So I'm stoked to
Nice.
get to ask my question here instead of on Twitter." And he asks, "Original cream cheese or flavored scallion, veggie, etc."
All right, that is one hell of
That's the way to start.
of a debut. Welcome aboard.
Yeah,
Welcome
happy first
to the
Father's
Discord.
Day, happy diehard land. all
Yes.
Oh, flavor of cream cheese.
I'm an original cream cheese guy. I don't
I think
need flavors.
it depends on the bagel.
That too.
If I have a sweet bagel, like a cinnamon bagel or a raisin bagel or something like that, I want plain cream cheese. If I have a savory bagel,
Like an
everything
everything
or
bagel?
something
Yeah.
like that, then give me like a veggie cream cheese or even maybe a sweeter cream cheese.
I've had cream cheese, like a jalapeno cream cheese
Good.
on a everything bagel, and that was pretty good. That was pre-gluten, and that was good.
I have
not-
room for all kinds of cheeses.
I'm
in
not
my
a
heart.
big. I don't like everything bagels. I don't like a ton of crap on my bagels.
I get that.
I either plain bagel or I'm a big fan of sesame seed bagels.
Yeah, those are good.
Sesame seed bagel, plain cream cheese. That's all I need.
Simple.
I'm a simple man.
Keep it simple, stupid.
All right, well, thanks for that.
You're not
first
chiming in on
question.
this, Law? This is your,
Oh, sure.
Yeah. What? Yeah. You.
I forgot.
You're not
that
going to cream cheese shame us?
No, I usually go.
What deli do you get your favorite cream
Oh,
cheese from?
Hey, the onion roll out by me. That's pretty good.
See?
Been there for years. I usually go everything bagel with a plain cream cheese. Again, you don't want to overpower the everything bagel. But if I am getting a plain bagel, yes, I might go with. There's a good one at the Daily Bagel in Oak Park. Oh, they do like a garlic and herb one. That's
Sounds good.
pretty phenomenal.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's it. We're getting
You
bagels.
don't want to get over the top with your cream cheese.
Now, when
Yeah.
do you guys ever do like a egg, cheese, bacon bagel? Do you
Oh,
get
yeah.
the cream cheese on that as well?
No.
No.
Oh.
There's enough going on with
See?
the
Yeah.
sandwich.
Honestly, I just take a
I'm
little
sure it
from
would
my
be good.
wife's
I've just-
bagel and just throw
I
it
don't
on
need
there.
it.
Just a schmear.
This
Yeah.
Great American Bagel's got
No,
the Supreme
no one's-
Sunrises.
No, until they're a
Bacon,
sponsor,
egg, cheese.
No,
It's bacon, sausage, egg, and cheese.
Ooh, that sounds
Yeah,
good.
it's good.
Yeah.
I'm not going to that place.
All right.
Why?
Sucks,
It does not suck.
and it's like $8 for a small soup.
Well,
Don't get the soup.
who
Get the
gets
bagel.
soup? It's 95 degrees
It
out.
says bagel. On
Soup
the,
is not a meal.
Why are you buying soup from a bagel place?
Ooh,
Jerry.
Go to the Great American Soup for soup.
Revan XL, cinnamon swirl bagel with strawberry cream cheese. That sounds pretty good.
That's
for
pretty good.
breakfast. Yes.
Yeah.
Sure,
right.
Sign me
sure,
up for
sure,
that.
sure.
All right.
right.
Nice.
Okay,
I like that. That's
Are we
good.
gonna clip this and send this to a certain somebody after the show?
Sell
Jay?
it. Sell it somewhere.
Sell it somewhere. Okay, this comes from
It's an inside joke,
I know.
folks.
Shut up.
63.
It's becoming too obvious.
Okay, hope everyone had a great Father's Day weekend. When will the list be made public, if at all, of the restricted free agents which received a qualifying contract offer for the next season?
That all usually happens
Before
right
July
up,
1st.
right up to the draft and during the draft.
I believe you
that's
have
that,
to
That's that
s-
like window.
I believe
June
you
25th.
25th is when you have to submit your offers, qualifying offers, to RFAs or let them be. Yeah, so we're just about
Next
a week away.
By the end of the
And
week.
this is from NHL.com. In order for a team to keep a player's RFA status, they must provide a qualifying offer. If they do not provide a qualifying offer, the player becomes a UFA. Qualifying offers must be provided to the player by the later of the Monday after the entry draft or June 25th.
So it's June.
So it's
25th.
June 25th.
Yes.
Or no. The later date. June 25th or the Monday after the draft?
The Monday after the draft is July 1st.
That doesn't make sense. That can't be right, though.
June
That's
30th.
That's that. Yeah, because the Monday after the draft is July 1st.
Yeah.
Yeah, so
that
it's got to
can't
be
right.
June.
It's got to be
always-
June
yeah.
25th.
Okay.
You're not
It's
going
gotta-
to.
yeah,
Yeah,
You're not going to
doesn't-
tell a guy on free agency day. Oh, by the
Right.
way, you're a free agent.
Yeah,
Good
it
luck. Get to work.
Yeah.
yeah. So
Yeah, I'm going with June 25th.
it's usually about a week before free agency. So we got about a week. We have a week. A week from tomorrow is the 25th. So the Hawks are going to re-sign any of those RFAs, we're going to hear about it in the next couple of days. FYI, we do mailbags on Monday, so it'd be great if you decide to do some of this on, say, a Thursday or a Friday, so we have content to
Just
talk about.
For people's knowledge, RFAs: Joe Anderson, Mackenzie Entwistle, Reese Johnson, Taylor Radish, and as I go down to like the prospect types, Cole Gutman, Michael Tepley,
Isaac
Louis
Phillips.
Crevier, Isaac Phillips, Philip Roos, and Jackson Stauber. Those are the Hawks'
11.
current RFAs.
11. Quick over-under. How many of those 11 are brought back?
6.
I'm saying Phillips is back. I think Crevier is back. Why not? Depth in Rockford.
Right.
I think Stauber's back. That's 3.
Those are
I
the
think
easy ones.
Gutman's back. That's 4. I'm going to say...
I think Joey Anderson's back.
Yeah, I would say Joey Anderson.
I think that's
I think they
true.
like Joey
Luke
Anderson.
Richardson really likes Joey Anderson.
That's
and if
5.
Joey Anderson is a fourth liner, you're okay.
Good. Yeah, that's
you're
fine.
okay. Or if he's playing in Rockford again, that's
Yeah.
okay.
It wouldn't shock me to see Entwistle back either. I think they
I
like
think they
him.
like
They like
him
him as
too.
a
Yeah,
guy.
those are 6 good
That's
ones.
6.
Yeah.
I don't think Radish is back.
No, I
Nah.
hope not. Yeah, that sounds about right. Because all those guys, you can play in Rockford if you have to.
Mm-hmm.
And if you've
Yeah.
got guys like Joey Anderson and Mackenzie Entwistle, who spent all of the last 2 seasons essentially with the Hawks, now playing in Rockford, that means your team is a whole lot
Yeah.
better.
Yeah, that's
And you
improvement.
can't you have to resign Entwistle after all he's been through.
Yes.
Right. Yeah.
Right. He's been abandoned enough in his life.
Yeah.
Can't leave him out in the cold.
You can't float him down a river in a basket.
Not again.
Too big.
Everybody gets just one.
Now that's a callback. That is, we're still going with that. Middle of 2024. All right, let's
Oh,
keep
yeah.
going with this one. This is a lengthy
this is a long one.
from the Discord from Rudy.
Rooney.
Rooney says, this is from a Scott Wheeler article from The Athletic in December. Pardon the long quote. Here we go. This is all from Scott Wheeler. Quote, is it common for him to be out that late? That's the first question Michigan State head coach Adam Nightingale was asked about Artyom Levshunov still skating while most of his teammates were long gone after a recent practice. Yeah, Nightingale answered. I mean, he's a worker. Sometimes you actually have to pull him back. Rooney says, sounds like someone we know, right? Doesn't it feel like the Blackhawks are banking on Levshunov's floor?
Today it feels that way to me.
I feel like Levshunov feels like one of those guys where it's like, you know, you're looking at the top 10 prospects of this draft class. He feels like one of those guys that's just like, at worst, you're getting a solid, steady, everyday NHL guy that you could be a number 4 defenseman. Like, and if that's your worst, that's not bad. Lots of teams need those guys.
Yeah.
This team needs one of those guys. Does he have the highest floor of those kinds of guys? I think that's up for debate, but he's one of those guys where it's just like, it just doesn't seem like the bust, quote unquote, potential is anything to worry about.
Yeah.
Whereas Demidov, like, I don't know, maybe there is bust potential there that the Blackhawks feel like it is a big gamble that you might hit and you might get a guy that's like Kirill Kaprizov or better, or you might get a guy that's just like you use the number 2 pick on a guy that's tops out as a third liner, like,
Or he signs a 3-year deal in Russia and you don't get him for 4
yeah,
more
you end up
years.
then you do that song and dance. So yeah, I mean, for me it feels like Levshunov just feels like a guy that you're like, you just won't be wrong,
It checks a lot
but
of
you
boxes.
might be really right.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's the safest of the
Seems
potential
like
picks
it, yeah.
there, where worst case
Besides
scenario, you still,
Celebrini. Celebrini
right.
also feels that way.
Worst case scenario, you still get a really a nice player, which you're hoping for more than nice at number 2. But
Yeah.
if you're worried about others, you go with the safe pick.
So today, Chris Peters of FlowHockey.tv published his NHL comps for the draft comparables. So he compares Macklin Celebrini to Sidney Crosby. He compares Artem Levshunov to Drew Doughty.
Not
And
bad.
Ivan Demidov to Kirill Kaprizov. So here's what he says about Levshunov. A two-way defenseman with some physicality and a good offensive touch. Levshunov profiles like a number 1 defenseman in the mold of Doughty, who can eat big minutes and produce. Levshunov's collegiate season production well outpaces Doughty's own draft season in the OHL in terms of NHL equivalency. As for Demidov, he says Demidov's offensive game is high-end, and while he lacks the skating ability of Kaprizov, The young Russian has a scoring instincts. He can score from anywhere in the offensive zone, is a legitimate shot pass threat, competes well away from the puck, and seems to find ways to impact games consistently. So there you go. There are the two comps from Chris Peters. Read the rest at flowhockey.tv. But that's what he had to say about the two we've been primarily debating at number 2.
Yeah.
Drew Doughty? Sure.
Okay.
Give me a stud defenseman for 2 decades.
Yeah.
Sans the Podwactum.
Yes.
I'm good.
Well, and what we
Questionable.
kind of heard from Liv Shunov at the draft combine, he sounds like a swell guy to be around.
Does, yeah.
Like he seems like he's having fun with this whole process, which is great. Blackhawks need guys with high character and stuff in their future. I'm not against it.
All right. So the draft, we're talking about the draft a lot here. Here's Alan K, again from the Discord. Shout out, Alan. The draft. Any CHGO meetups, parties, gatherings? Please organize something. Also, does anyone know a good vegan restaurant on the street?
You're asking the wrong.
Yeah, you got the wrong crew here, buddy.
I think that was for the rest of Discord because we don't have that for you. The best
Ew.
vegan restaurant I know is a boarded up vegan restaurant.
Oh, man.
Soon to be a barbecue place.
As far as meetups, I don't know. I don't know if there's going to be a lot of time.
Yeah.
Maybe. I mean, if there's anything, it would be a very
Unofficial.
unofficial where we'll send out a tweet on Saturday night saying, "Oh, by the way, we're hanging out here if you want to stop by and say hello." That'll probably be the gist of it. We won't have an official one like we had last year.
Yeah.
Because there's just less time. Last year we had a full day in between awards and the first day of the draft. This year it's award night 1 and then the day.
Yeah.
But
we're doing our shows from Circa too, so
right, you can come
Yeah,
by,
we'll
come
be
hang
able
out
to
at
come
come
to
to
watch
Circa.
the shows. Yeah,
We'll be around Circa.
The good thing about Saturday is because they're catering the draft for Eastern Standard Time.
The TV audience,
So
yeah.
everything will be done very early Vegas time.
Yeah.
So we'll have time to squeeze in a little fun.
Vegas
but,
is
the Beatles' Love is closing.
Oh, no.
Like within a couple weeks.
Oh, Jay, that
I-
sounds wonderful.
The Beatles from
I saw the
Cool.
Beatles' Love 14 years ago. So
does it still hold up?
I saw it 14 years ago. I'll
I
have
heard they
to see
wrote
it
a whole
again.
bunch of new songs. So
Yeah.
it looks like you've never seen it before.
I would like to see that. I
Maybe.
would like to see
It was really good.
Maybe if we go visit a timeshare and get free tickets, I'll go.
There you go. Yeah, we can see. That's fun. All right, see, we're thinking. We got
The
it.
CHGO timeshare. That's just
Yeah.
what we need.
As for the vegan food, though, you can just eat
couldn't tell
the
ya.
parsley off my plate when I get 9 pounds of prime rib.
Yeah.
Couldn't tell you.
I'm sure there's a website that'll tell you.
I'm sure you can find many.
All the
articles.
buffets in Vegas have salad bars. You're fine.
Anyone been to Vegas recently? Like within the last 2
Yes.
years?
Yes.
Are they still have the people handing out the cards with the ladies on them?
Oh,
Oh,
my God.
You'd imagine. Now they just have QR
I hated
codes.
those people.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
I hated those people.
I can never
so much.
replicate the snapping though, man. That's a talent.
it's a fine art.
I don't know the answer. I was basically
right,
stuck
we'll find
between.
I mean, you gotta
The
imagine. that's
NHL's in
still
town.
around.
They got to be out.
They know their audience.
Okay.
This one says Carrera is gymnast.
Next up, this is.
from
Oh man, we're
Superstore.
way in the break zone, by the way. We should,
all right.
we should
Let's
do
do
break
one
zone
more.
after
Break
this.
zone.
This is from Brad Beatty.
Probably
I
read
forgot
that.
about the break zone. You need to win a Game 7 and can assemble a roster using all available NHL players. Who is your starting 5 and goalie?
Okay.
All right.
Who wants to go first?
Woof.
I'll go first.
Give me some
Okay.
time.
I will take a line of Connor McDavid, Alexander Barkov, and Brad Marchand.
Ah.
Get a little bit of everything with
All
those
right.
three. And my defense will be Cale Makar. And can't believe I'm saying this, but I'll probably take Gustav Forsling because
Wow.
is a stud right now. And my goalie, I'm still taking Andrei Vasilevsky.
Okay.
It's pretty good.
I like that. I'm going McDavid, McKinnon, and Barkov. And then I'm going Hughes and Makar. And I'm going to go with Vasilevsky, too. I'm just going to outscore everybody.
Quinn Hughes.
Yeah.
Okay.
Quinn Hughes. Thank you.
Man. Yeah, McDavid. McDavid, McKinnon.
Mick Bedard.
McDard. Yeah, McKinnon, McDavid, McCarr. Take all the M's. Oof. Who's a good shutdown defenseman right now? I know Forsling's been really good. Man. You know what? Give me a guy like Alex Pietrangelo. Put him back there too. And I need another wing.
Wing and a goalie.
Kucherov. Give me Kucherov. And a goalie. I mean, Vasilevsky's still the best on the planet.
Yeah, I think you're right.
I think he's still the best. So yeah.
All right.
All right.
There you go.
That's
fellas,
good question.
Can you believe it is already June 17th?
I can.
This year is flying by, and it's like every year it's had its ups and downs. And when life goes fast, it's important to take a moment to celebrate your wins and make adjustments for the rest of the year. And I think the three of us, probably the four of us, can vouch for the benefits of therapy. Therapy can help you take stock of your progress and set achievable goals for the next 6 months. I have been going to therapy for 7 years. I started for one reason. I remain for several other reasons. And I have become a better person, a happier person, a more balanced person, a better husband, and a better father because of it. And if you're thinking of starting therapy, why not give BetterHelp a try? It's entirely online, designed to be convenient, flexible, and suited to your schedule. All you got to do is fill out a brief questionnaire, and you'll get matched with a licensed therapist. You can switch therapists, by the way, at any time for no additional charge if you're just not jiving. It's very important to find a therapist you connect with, and with BetterHelp, you can do that. And even if the first couple don't work out, you can keep trying. No charge to switch therapists. Take a moment, visit BetterHelp.com/CHGO today, and you'll get 10% off your first month. That's BetterHelp, HELP.com/CHGO for 10% off your first month at BetterHelp. Therapy is good. Do it for you. Do it for the people you love. Do it. BetterHelp.com/CHGO.
Yeah, absolutely. And hey, it is 100+ degrees out today. And I have to say, I feel nice and comfortable. You know why? I'm wearing my Mando deodorant.
Me too.
Yes. Mando whole body deodorant will have you smelling great all summer, especially on days like today. Mando's array of odor controlling solutions ensures you'll be fresh from head to toe. The solid stick and invisible cream tube control odor for 72 hours, but you can start odor control in the shower with the 4-in-1 cleansing bar and the acidified body wash, which helps stop odor before it even starts. I used my body wash this morning. The best part is they all fit in your carry-on. I was just in Florida, took my Mando with me, no problems. All the liquids in the starter pack are under 3.4 ounces, which is an important number when you're traveling. And the deodorant wipes, you can freshen up on the go. Tell you what, Florida, without that Mando, was going to be much different, much smellier, stinkier, damper. Would have been a lot worse. So I'm glad that I had it.
They should have Mando dispensers in Florida.
You would think.
At every corner.
You would think that they would. But they don't. Not yet, at least. Mando starter pack is perfect for new customers. It comes with a solid stick deodorant, cream tube deodorant, and 2 free products of your choice, like the mini body wash and deodorant wipes, and it comes with free shipping. And we here at CHGO have a discount code to help you get hooked on your favorite smelling whole body deodorant on the market. New customers get $5 off of a starter pack with our exclusive code CHGO, and that equates to over 40% off your starter pack. Use code CHGO at shopmando, MANDO.com. Shopmando.com. Link is also in the description below.
All right, back to the mailbag. Sorry about the lack of breaks on there.
Get your mailbag freshened up with Mando.
Yeah.
Okay.
Hey, Jim.
Uh-oh.
Mailbag sponsored by Mando.
The Mando mailbag.
Yes, the Mando
Take
mailbag.
care of your mailbag.
Take care of your mailbag.
On Mailbag Monday.
Yeah.
Or
We got to do everything, Jim.
Jesus. Come on, man.
Manscaped.
Shit writes itself.
Okay, back to our diehards. This, again, comes from the Discord. It's from Michael Evans. Thoughts on buying other teams' jerseys? Have had people in the past tell me it's basically treason to buy another team's jersey, even if you absolutely love a player on another team.
Those people need to reel it in a little bit. Buy whatever the hell you want. It's your money.
Yeah.
There's tons of great jerseys.
I
out
own
there.
not all my hockey jerseys are Blackhawk jerseys. If you like a player, get his jersey. If you like a color scheme or a logo, get the jersey. Just do whatever you want.
Yeah. I mean, like, I see a lot of people wear Major League Baseball hats of teams they don't support because the hat's cool.
Yeah,
I do.
Like,
that
I
all the
don't
time.
really like the San Francisco Giants, but I love their hat. I have no feeling either way about the Detroit Tigers, but the Old English D looks awesome.
That's what she said.
Eh.
The orange one? The orange D?
Yeah, sure. Tom Selleck. Yeah, I agree.
Yeah.
Magnum
Good looking
PI.
hat.
Yeah, most of the hats I own are just accessories because they match some of my Roosevelts. I don't care about the team. So just wear what you. If you think something's cool, buy it. It's that simple.
I mean, I'll say this: don't bring a damn Red Wings jersey out anytime soon around me.
Yeah, don't get a Red Wings shirt.
I mean, if you're a Hawks fan, you shouldn't be buying a Red Wings
That
jersey
would-
anyway. But if
Or
you like
Blues.
if you like the Seattle Kraken,
Sure.
Winter
Kraken,
Classic jersey, knock yourself
yes,
out.
Agree.
Yeah.
And I do. It's a beautiful.
I would just say don't be the guy that wears a neutral jersey to a game.
yes, that's so stupid.
Like if you go
Oh,
to
I hate
a
those people.
like I
Why?
went
Why
to
are you
see
doing
the
that?
Sox and Blue Jays, and there were like a bunch of people wearing Cubs jerseys. I'm like, just wear a black shirt. It's not going to kill you for one day.
yeah,
It's just stupid.
Yeah, it's weird.
Why are you doing that?
Well, you're looking for attention.
right.
You're
yeah.
looking for a confrontation. That's what it is.
When I was a kid, I had a Mighty Ducks jersey because they were awesome, and the Mighty Ducks movie when I was a kid helped get me into hockey. I had a Washington Capitals jersey for a long time. That was the black and gold, like the Ovechkin's like rookie year. I had
Like the Screaming
jersey
Eagle
like
on
that.
it, right?
No, it wasn't the Screaming Eagle. It was the like Capitol building.
Oh, that one,
on
yeah.
it, yeah. So I had that. I mean, yeah, a lot of NHL jerseys are really cool, really well done. You know, the alternate jerseys, the special edition jerseys, all that stuff. Like some of them are really cool. So yeah, if you want to buy it and wear it, go ahead. The thing that irks me is when people, again, fan the way you want. I'm just going to express that it irks me when people are like, I'm a Blackhawks fan, and I like the Blues, and I like Tampa, and I like New York, and I like New Jersey, and I like Anaheim. It's like, okay.
I like all 16 teams in the NHL playoffs.
Pick one.
I can't go wrong.
Pick one.
Speaking of opponent jerseys,
Yes.
we talked about this last week. Icethetics. If you don't follow Icethetics, make sure you do so on YouTube. Great videos, great Twitter account.
Yeah.
They said that the Ducks will be switching to the classic like Disney duck logo away from the duck foot. Well, they teased their new jerseys today, and you can see it here on your screen, or you go to the Ducks Twitter at Anaheim Ducks. They're still sticking with the freaking orange,
Yeah, I don't
black,
like
and
that.
gold.
I don't like that.
Stop. You're so close.
You're right there.
You're so close. And last year they had the anniversary of with the plum and the teal, some of the best looking jerseys in hockey. Why did they refuse to give people what they want? I don't get it.
I don't know.
I don't know. A lot of people hate purple.
Who?
Whomst? Well, for one, the guy who runs UniWatch, or who's now no longer running it, but he always railed against purple jerseys.
Well,
And
he's
he's a
lame.
uniform guy who would comment on
Sure.
everything.
He's wrong. That's fine.
I like purple.
Purple's
good
my
color.
favorite color.
I went to college with the purple as the primary color. I got used to it.
Purple's good. Purple's
Yeah.
good color. You can do a lot with purple.
I mean, I like purple. I'm just saying.
Yeah.
Some people
You
do.
know,
I
Yeah, those people
feel
are
like
weird.
the Ducks would have to go, like, you just got to look at like your sales numbers, right? Jersey sales numbers.
You would think.
The jerseys that they had that were the purple and teal, and like you look at like what still sells, what people are still trying to find on like eBay and stuff. Like it's all the old, it's the '90s version of those jerseys, and it's just like people want that.
They are switching from their home jersey. Primary home jersey will move from black to orange. So it's a little better.
Is it though?
But it's still like the most drab.
Yeah,
Never-
maybe it's a slow rollout. They'll change the logo of the Ducks back to, the one that everyone likes, and then they'll change the color scheme eventually.
I mean, why are you hoping an NHL team actually listens to the fans?
You always
Yeah,
have to have
good
hope.
point.
In this league, the louder you yell, the more they ignore you.
Well, and there are some things you should not listen to fans about. 100%. Because who was
Right.
it that said if you listen to the fans, you end up being one or something like that? It's a
That's,
famous quote.
Who said that? That was
Is that a wrestling thing?
no. Yeah.
If you listen to fans,
No, it was a former GM,
you become one or something.
I mean, we shouldn't expect
Buddy
the-
Ryan.
Buddy Rice.
Ah, okay.
Yeah,
If you
there
listen
go.
to the fans, you'll end up sitting up there with them.
Yeah.
There you go.
There's
All right.
some truth to that.
Well, since we're talking jerseys, our last question from the Discord comes from Windy City Hockey, who asks, besides the Blackhawks red, white, or old black third, what is your favorite all-time Blackhawks jersey?
So no red, no white, or the traditional, like the one they were selling at the Chelios game.
Right,
And
the
that's
Yeah,
probably
not
coming back in
the-
2 years.
the whole-
I
away
love
or the
those barber poles they wore for the 75th anniversary.
Those are pretty great.
I
Great.
believe that was the 92-93 season.
Yeah.
I think so.
Those are awesome.
Yeah.
And the first Winter Classic jerseys were great. I didn't care much for them when they brought them as their third with the patches on them. I liked them better without the tomahawks. Though they were a little hard to read the numbers at the United Center when they wore them, but I still love that first Winter Classic jersey too.
That's probably my favorite.
I loved the Notre Dame Winter Classics.
Those are great.
I know I'm biased, but when they showed them for the first time, I was like, "Ugh, those are kind of boring." But then seeing them in person and seeing them on the ice, just a plain old black and white looked awesome.
It looked really good.
I thought it looked great.
The ones that wore on me, the more I saw them, I hated them at first, but those Stadium Series jerseys they wore in Minnesota, the white ones that had a little bit more.
Yeah.
Of the
Oh,
black,
yeah.
When I
Yeah.
saw them like up close, and I saw people wearing my games, like those are actually kind of cool.
Yeah,
They're they're different, yeah.
Those ones I don't hate them. They're interesting.
But
yeah.
give me that barber pole from that 75th anniversary season. If you don't know what I'm talking about, just Google it. It's the black with the red horizontal stripes. Awesome
Yeah.
jersey.
Yeah.
Very
Awesome,
cool.
awesome jersey.
By the way, if you missed the shows last week, I had been chatting with a Blackhawk source, and they have seen the Fanatics on ice uniforms, and they seem very satisfied with the outcome. So that's good to know. We should start seeing those. We've seen the teams. Saw Utah show like an actual jersey. We saw what we just showed with Anaheim. I would imagine we're going to start seeing the Fanatics jerseys this week or next, because they will be the jerseys given out at the draft, because that is the day the new NHL year begins, is
The
draft
Authentics,
day.
you're saying, right?
Yeah, so
Okay.
whoever the Hawks pick it to, and Macklin Celebrini will have the first ever on ice Fanatics Sharks jersey. So those should start rolling out by next week, I
As the
think.
logo peels off.
By the way, this is interesting. Well, we'll talk about it off the air. I don't know if I can say it on here.
Sure.
All right.
I mean,
Sorry,
we've
everybody.
We've
It's not a
already-
big deal.
We've already seen the retail replicas, because those were done by Fanatics already,
And they're bad.
and those were a significant downgrade.
Yeah.
So, yeah, hopefully those Authentics that are going to be available through retail, cross my fingers, won't have the same problems that Fanatics always seems to have.
Blackhawks.
Blorkhawks. Blorkhawks.
Pork
Chicago
Hawks.
Balls.
Yeah.
Oh, boy.
Let's fly back.
Anyways,
into the,
I think
into
we're in the
break
break zone.
Let's
We
do it.
are in the
We're gonna
break
catch
zone.
up. Let's catch up here.
And all these,
like
the
ketchup.
stress of like, who are the Blackhawks going to pick, and are the Fanatics jerseys going to be terrible,
very
and all these
stressful.
things we worry about in Blackhawks land. Sometimes you need to choose chill.
Yeah.
And every opportunity I have to choose chill, I supplement that moment with a nice cold Coors Light. And once again, before I left today, turned the beer fridge up a little bit in the basement, so it is extra cold, and those mountains are extra blue, because Coors Light, oh, you know it, it is mountain cold refreshment. When those mountains turn blue, your Coors Light is as cold as the Rockies. It's cold lagered, cold filtered, and cold packaged for a smoother finish. When you embrace a chill mindset, it's a good time to choose chill and crack open a Coors Light. Coors Light is mountain cold refreshment, crisp and refreshing as the Colorado Rockies. Nothing like an ice cold Coors Light on a 95-degree day in Chicago. Make the most out of the times you choose and need to chill. Choose Coors Light. Get Coors Light delivered straight to your door with Instacart by going to CoorsLight.com/CHGO Hockey. Celebrate responsibly. Coors Brewing Company, Golden, Colorado.
And for your new Chevy, make Ray Chevrolet your first draft pick. Visit our partner this June to shop their summer sales event going on all month long at Ray Chevy on Route 12 in Fox Lake and at raychevrolet.com. As one of the top-selling Chevy dealers in the entire Midwest, you'll always be able to shop one of Chicagoland's largest Chevy inventories. Plus, find the perfect tailgate vehicle right now and get $12,000 off MSRP on a brand new 2024 Chevrolet Silverado or lease the new 2024 Chevy Trax for only $179 a month
Ooh, that's
for
affordable.
24 months. That's
That's
hell
a
of a
good
lot
deal.
less than what I'm paying on my car. Or cruise into June your own way and shop over 125 of their vehicles priced under $20,000. And if you've heard of Ray Chevrolet, then you've heard of Ray's Price Promise. They're guaranteed to make your next vehicle more affordable than ever with no price changing, no add-ons, no hitting fees ever. That means the incredible prices we're talking about now, you can expect to see the very same ones when you shop Ray Chevy in-store or online. Shop the summer sales event all month long by visiting Ray Chevrolet in Fox Lake or raychevrolet.com. They've been serving the community since 1963. Together, let's drive.
We have breaking news.
We do?
The Utah Hockey Club have signed their first ever player.
Hey,
An
Congratulations.
entry-level contract with Noel Nord.
Cool.
that's a good name.
So there you go. There's some good Utah bar trivia for you if you ever find a
All
bar
right,
in
he's
Utah.
right up there with Zach Duke, the first player ever signed by
Yes.
the Vegas Golden Knights.
Yes.
Who could forget?
Wow.
Iconic.
Okay, we are going to get back into the mailbag, and now we're going to our Twitter questions. So let's start with
yes.
the reason that we named our podcast what we did
The
today.
reason for the season.
The reason
This
we're
is
here.
from Cubs in 4-Yo, a.k.a. Bedard Season,
is a
who
youth.
asks, what does your perfect yet realistic offseason look like? Draft, free
that's no
agents,
fun.
trades, training
Make it
camp roster
realistic.
surprises?
Perfect off season, starting with the draft for me would be, man, if they get one of the top forwards, one of the top defensemen at either pick, 2 and 18, flip them, whatever they are. If it's Demidov and Emery, if it's Levshunov and Bransic Nygaard or
Hage, like that.
yeah, Hage, just make sure that it's. I would like it to be one and the other, defenseman and forward, or forward and defenseman. I would like it to be that because they need both. Free agency, I think we've mentioned it before, but they need a top 6 forward, a top 4 defenseman, and a 1A, 1B. They need the 1B goaltender. If they can sign those guys as free agents or bring someone in via trade, I think that's really good. If Davidson can kind of hit those baseline things, I think you're moving forward in the right direction.
Yeah, I think your outline is correct. I'm going to throw some specific names in there, and I think I'm with you on the draft. Like, if it's Demidov or Lindstrom at 2, then get a defenseman at 18 or vice versa. I think if you can get a player like Jake Gensel for 4 years or less, we're talking about ideal and realistic. So Gensel for 4 years. I would like maybe a trade for Martin Necas. Realistic,
Yeah.
doable. And I would like to bring in a defenseman, so I'm going to say Chris Tanev would be my ideal.
Sure.
If you end up with one of those top draft guys and you bring in 2 top 6 forwards and a top 4 defensemen, this team is good.
They're better.
They're much, much better.
Yeah.
So that's what I'm looking for.
Here's my ideal offseason. Demidov and Hage in the first round. You can get defensemen in the second and third round.
Can.
You can. And you've got NHL-ready defensemen all over your system right now, or soon to be NHL-ready. Give me some two forwards. You need Hage, a guy like that down the middle. Give me Demidov and Hage. Trade-wise, top of that chart, I would love to figure out a way to get Martin Necas here. If not, bring in Patrick Laine. Free agent-wise, at forward, if you're getting Necas or Laine, then give me one of like a Max Domi or Dakota Joshua. One of those two guys.
I love Dakota Joshua. That'd be great.
That gives you that character, that guy that accepts his role, that physical forward you're missing, the kind of guy that Nick Foligno was talking about. And then, defenseman, I love Chris Tanev. That he'd be a perfect fit here as well. If you want to bring in a backup goalie because you don't trust Soderblom, you've got some guys out there. a Kaapo Kähkönen or Alex Nedeljkovic makes sense. So that's what I would do. I don't think Jake Getzel's signing anywhere for under 6 years, and I'm not ready to make that kind of commitment to somebody. Now is not the time.
I'm just sort of looking up like contract projections for Dakota Joshua, and like Elliot Friedman saying there's going to be a lot of competition for him.
Yeah.
Some Vancouver media, Donnie and Dolly, their show, is saying they're thinking over $3 million for him.
I'm okay with that.
I think it's the kind of player that you need. It's something that this roster is missing a little bit.
Yeah. Or call the another player I would love to see with the Blackhawks. Call Vegas. They're always in salary cap hell. Call Vegas and see what it would take to get Keegan Colasar off their hands.
Sure.
Yeah.
Down with that. Bijan says, would you pay $4 million for Joshua?
For 5 years? Sure. Salary cap's going up. A $4 million contract in 3 years is going to be equivalent to like a 2.5 contract now. That's not going to take away because he's still young-ish.
He's 28. Older than I thought.
He's still, but he hasn't played a ton.
Yeah, only 184 NHL games.
He hasn't played a ton of NHL time. So, yeah, I mean, now's the time you can pay for a guy like Joshua that much. That's a little high, but if that's what it's going to take because of the competition, then you got to overpay.
Yeah.
I mean, I would rather do Domi for 5 than Joshua at 4, but
yeah, because Domi you can put up in your top 6 and be okay
you can,
with it.
You can. I mean, Joshua played a little bit of that in the playoffs, but that was more of like the protector role. Domi can actually contribute offensively more.
Right. Yeah.
So
well, we saw it.
I'd be okay with that.
Yeah.
Can I just ask a question to you guys right now? Because it's something I've been thinking about.
It's
I'll
not,
send a
it's
super
not,
chat
yeah.
later.
You got to
C from Cicero
You got to put it
asks,
in. You got to put it in.
C from Cicero
Discord.
says, "What if the Hawks signed Tyler Bertuzzi?"
I would not be happy. I'm not a fan.
I'm not. This is not anything I'm being told.
Also,
so we're just playing. Thought
Also, not a
exercise
fan,
here.
but we also had that same reaction when they
Max Domi.
signed Max
Right.
Domi, and we were like, ugh. Okay.
But Max Domi, we got to know him a bit. We saw what he's capable of. I mean, and this isn't a political rant. I will preface that.
Yeah.
But there was only one guy that didn't get the vaccination in order to be able to play in Canada. One guy in the entire league. I mean, this is the ultimate team sport, right? And
Allegedly.
one guy didn't want to do it. And he just takes... I know Domi...
Well, he is, in fairness, Tyler Bertuzzi is a respected researcher.
Right. But also, like... Just we saw Domi can get off kilter at times, but for the most part when he was here, he was pretty disciplined. Like I believe,
I think he was probably focused on other things. Like he didn't have to go in and be, I have to be a wrecking ball and I have to fight. Like
right.
No, like I want to try and put up some points.
I mean, I believe 34 of Domi's 50-some, 60-some odd, like over half of his penalty minutes here in Chicago came those 2 games. He got the 17 minutes for protecting Patrick Kane. You can live with that.
Yeah.
Bertuzzi takes too many dumb, selfish. He gets rattled too easily. Players get under his skin too easily. Domi can dial that back much better than Bertuzzi can. And Bertuzzi just... He's had a lot of dirty plays in his career. I know he was suspended multiple times in the AHL. Is for the slew foot, stuff like that. Maybe it's PTSD for just the name on his back.
Yeah, right.
Because his uncle's a garbage. So no, I don't want anything to do with that. Like, there's also a reason that the Detroit Red Wings walked away from him while they're in the middle of a rebuild. There's a reason the Boston Bruins were like, we're good after a playoff where he played really well, but they're also like, we're okay. So I don't want Tyler Bertuzzi. It's just
for me, I think it's too much that he's too inconsistent. I think when he wants to be really good and really effective, he can be, but it's not always there. And then when he's not being engaged and effective, he's taking bad penalties. So that's kind of like doubling down on the I don't really want that.
And even if they're better this year, there's still going to be some extended losing streaks on this team. And would he be the kind of guy that's going to stay committed, stay, engaged
Yeah.
when the team is not doing as well as some of the teams he's been on recently.
Yeah,
I don't know.
I think Davidson has done a better than not job of bringing in guys who are gonna buy in and understand and acknowledge the situation the team's in, and like I feel like Nick Foligno is the prime example of that. But now you got a guy like Nick Foligno saying we got to move things forward. So I think if you bring in someone who can be in that mentality and be a positive in the locker room, that's for some players, that's going to be more important than what you do on the ice for this team in this situation that they're in, where they're still pushing forward the rebuild. Like, they're still rebuilding.
Yeah.
We're not saying you need to push them into the playoffs. Like, you need to move them forward in their development, most of these young guys.
It would shock me if they signed him. But,
I would be surprised.
All right,
curious.
Let's get back into the mailbag with. There's a couple questions I want to read back to back. They're about Martin Necas. This first one comes from Anthony Arith, who says, "Say the Hawks acquire Necas. In theory, what would or could the trade look like? And then, assuming an extension would be in place, what would that extension have to be? Tough to gauge his market value." And then I want to. I think it's from. I didn't realize it's also from Anthony. He says, "Is there at all an odd chance they move Taylor Hall maybe as a very small part of the package?"
Doubt it. No.
Yeah, I don't think so.
probably not.
Carolina's not going to want that cap hit for this year, where they got to make other moves. I mean, I know it's just 1 year. There's really no reason to try and trade Taylor Hall. He's not hurting you. His salary's not preventing anything.
Right.
You have to hit the floor.
His known value is really low right now.
Right.
Because he missed basically all of last year.
If you're going to get a Necas, it's going to cost a lot. It's not going to be Lucas Reichel, Connor Murphy, and a 5th-round pick. It's going to be one of those young defenseman prospects, Del Mastro, Allen, Kaiser. One of those guys is going to have to be part of that. Mm-hmm. Probably the 18th overall pick, and then some.
I think that's where the conversation begins.
Maybe a 2nd rounder this year or next year, or a 3rd rounder, or both. It's going to be costly.
The Hurricanes want people who can help them now.
Right, and the
That's
Blackhawks
the
really
issue.
don't have that.
I think Bijan brings up. I feel like Kurashev would have to be part of it too.
I'd be willing to do that.
Which is like Necas is an upgrade in theory over Kurashev, but also it'd be nice to have both of them.
Right.
And I think Kurashev, even at his best, can still be part of the team moving forward, moving beyond the rebuild. I think he can do that. So yeah, I mean, if he can be a part of it and they get Necas, that'd be great. But I think making that kind of trade might involve him.
Right. And as we said, we really like Philip Kurashev a lot.
Yeah.
But Philip Kurashev isn't a top line winger on a legit Stanley Cup contender. He's a 3rd liner. Maybe 2nd. He's a middle 6 guy, not a top line guy.
Yeah.
Necas, to me, could be that top line guy. If it costs Kurashev and one of the defensemen and 18, I'm willing to pay that price. And as far as what market value is, I mean, it's not technically going to be an extension, but, I mean, he's an RFA, but whatever. I mean, it's going to probably be a 6 or 7 year contract.
Yeah.
6.5 to 7 per.
Sounds about right.
6 year, $38 million deal.
He's 25.
He's 25. See, I'd rather do 6 years, $38 million for a 25-year-old Marty Necas than a 6 year.
But I think, is he going to want to do that? Because now you think if he's getting to that next contract at 31, 32, guys don't want to be UFAs at that age. They'd rather be get to that UFA at 28, 29. Now, is he going to do a 4-year contract? Who knows? But I think, two-way street here. Players got to have a say in it too.
Right. And that makes sense. But would you rather, as a player, have the security of 2 extra years guaranteed, or what if he signs the 4 and then Carolina was right about him and he's not the player they thought he was? Then you're not getting shit.
No, you gambled on yourself.
So we'll see. But Necas checks a lot of boxes. He has size. He scores. And
it seems like he's determined to prove that he's more than he's shown in Carolina, which is, encouraging. Get a guy like that's coming into this team and wanting to, prove his worth. He's not like a guy that's just like, I'm just trying to get the bag and, coast. Like he's going out to show, like, I want to be a top 6 guy. I want to be a power play 1 guy.
Well, he'll get that chance here.
Yeah,
no doubt.
Definitely.
It was I think it was Brad Evans who said
Michael
it.
Evans.
Michael Evans. Yeah, sorry. Said number 18 for Kurashev. Number 18 Kurashev and Kaiser for Necas.
Is that enough? I don't know.
I don't know if it's enough, but I would do that if they're taking it.
Sure. Yeah. Yeah.
I hate trying to value trades and.
You got a guy who wants out.
Right. I hate trying to say what the return should be because I'm always wrong. That's why I'm not.
Yeah. Well, I'll say this too, and like the fact that Carolina wants an NHL body back for Necas. Keep in mind, if they trade him, they suddenly will have the room to sign Jake Gensel if they want him back. So there's that aspect of it too.
Right.
So maybe that softens it. Maybe you find a third team to facilitate and say, hey, Carolina wants a guy who's a little more NHL ready. But I think that's why we're talking Kurashev. Because you can plug Kurashev into Carolina. He's good enough to be in their lineup for sure. And could thrive there. So who knows? I mean, I don't know. It's going to happen soon. We're 10 days away from our draft arrival. 11 days away from the actual draft. So if he's getting traded, it's happening soon.
As we just discussed, RFA rights. They got to make him a qualifying offer by the 25th. So if he's getting traded or re-signing there, they're not just going to let him walk.
Right.
They're either going to go to arbitration and, sign that 1-year deal and see if they can figure out something, or there's no way they're letting him go for nothing. So something is going to happen here within the next few days.
Could also do a sign and trade kind of a thing where Carolina gives him the contract he wants and then they flip him to a team. That's a possibility too.
Right, yeah.
All right, let's do a couple more here.
All right, gentlemen. Brad, who goes by @SkiJax, says, all the talk is about the high potential of Del Mastro, Allen, even Rinzel over the past few podcasts, but the only time I hear Wyatt Kaiser's name is as trade bait.
That's good timing.
I think we just talked about him. I thought he was much improved in his second stint. What do you think his deficiencies are and what he needs to work on?
I don't know if it's so much deficiencies. I think it's just when you look at what this team needs, I don't know if another undersized offensive defenseman is what they need. I think you look at Del Mastro and Allen and Rinzel, and you've got big guys who can also move the puck, who can also put some points up. And when you're so small up front, you don't want to be small on the back end too. So I think that's why. I also think that they just project those guys as better overall players as their careers go on.
Yeah.
I think they just see a higher ceiling in those guys. So I think it's probably pretty simple, but I think the three of us like Wyatt Kaiser. I think he's good. I think he makes the team next year if he's still on the team next year. Out of camp, he was fantastic in his second call up. Looked really good in camp last year and early in the preseason, early in the season. Then things kind of caught up to him a little bit. But when he came back, he looked really, really good.
He was really solid in Rockford.
Yeah. I just don't know what his ceiling is.
I think he feels like a guy that could provide stability on a third pair. But I think guys like Del Mastro and Allen and Rinzel, like you were saying, I think they just project higher ceilings than that. I think Del Mastro, I think all those guys could be in, everyday regular guys that are better than necessarily just being a third pair guy. I think Kaiser is a steady, mobile third pair defenseman, which is fine. It's something that this team has use for at this moment in time. I just don't know if he's more than that. And I think the Blackhawks are looking for guys like you look at like a Korchinski, a Vlasic, like way more than that. I think that's what they're trying to do. And length on the blue line is a good thing.
Yeah, you have if these guys all hit their potential and you go into your first playoff game with Korchinski, Vlasic, Allen, Del Mastro, Rinzel, and Seth Jones still here. That's a pretty damn big defensive core.
It's huge, yeah.
All of them are 6'3" or bigger.
And they all got long reaches. And yeah, Kaiser is I'm not, but I think we're not advocating to trade him. But I think of those prospects we just mentioned, that's the first one I'm willing to part with, because I think he has the lowest ceiling of all of them. And the time to trade guys is when their value is high.
Right.
You don't want Kaiser to come here. If you're looking to move one of these young defensemen, you want to trade them while they still have this high potential. God forbid he plays all next year and it's not the same guy. And then you're like, well, we could have got something for him last year. Now, well, we don't. So, I think his biggest deterrent is his size, but he's shown he can overcome that. He does have a physical side to his game. He does have a mean streak.
Yeah.
But when
he's got that edge.
But when it comes to the grind of a season and then the grind of a Stanley Cup playoff run, you kind of need some bigger boys back there, and they have a lot of those guys.
Wyatt Kaiser feels like a more mobile Ian Mitchell. And Ian Mitchell, he's one of those 4A guys. So I think Kaiser is a step above that.
Well, it wasn't Mitchell's thing, though, the lack of skating? Like, that was kind of the thing. Is like, if he could just had another level to his skating, maybe he'd be more than a 4A guy. And maybe Kaiser has it. Look, if we're talking about trading for Martin Necas or any name of that level, you're going to have to give up a guy you like. It's not going to be, Michael Tepley in a 4th-round pick
Right.
to get Martin Necas. Like, you're going to have to give up someone who's shown something at the NHL level, especially because you're trading to a contender. And someone in the chat said if you trade Kaiser, it's going to be Forsling 2.0. Nobody batted an eye when the Hawks walked away from Gustav Forsling.
Lebowski 5, you're one of our loyal daily listeners. If Wyatt Kaiser, timestamp this, Lawrence, if Wyatt Kaiser becomes Gustav Forsling-esque in the next 6 years, I will send you a $100 bill.
Ooh.
Nice.
Rubles.
In rubles. I mean, it'll be a picture of a $100 bill. No, I'll send you $100 cash. I will Venmo it right to you. If one day, whether he's with the Hawks or not, we're going, man, Gustav Forsling and Wyatt Kaiser, can't tell them apart.
Yeah.
I just think we're guilty. The three of us are guilty. Fan base as a whole, we like to overvalue our prospects.
Yep.
But sometimes prospects have to be used as currency to get what you need. So, yeah. And again, Gravely points out 3 teams walked away from Forsling. The Canucks, who drafted him high, then the Hawks. Carolina put him on waivers. He was a waiver claim.
He played a whole year in Charlotte.
So, and nobody's saying giving him away for a bag of hockey pucks, cook by night. We're saying if it gets you Marty Necas,
yes, you're getting Martin
do
Necas,
it. I'm not
a bag
trading
of
Wyatt
pucks.
Kaiser just to trade Wyatt Kaiser. But if it takes Wyatt Kaiser to get a good NHL player right now, then that trade is being made. Listen with your ears.
By the way, there's 100. You go to the Gustav Forsling thing all you want. There's 100 guys that the Hawks have, or every NHL team is that was a high prospect that they walked away from that didn't become shit. Let's take a look at Boston and Ian Mitchell.
Yeah.
It's nothing. He's not an NHL player. Like, you have to be able to evaluate. And I'm not saying that about Kaiser at all. I think he is an NHL player. I just say he's going to make the team. But again, you're trading for Martin Necas. You're not walking away from Wyatt Kaiser. No one is saying that. Right. No one.
But if you have to give him up
trade
to
for
get
a stud,
something, then you have to try.
No one wants your crap for crap.
Right.
Yeah.
That's right.
Forsling was involved in the DeHaan trade. Calvin DeHaan and Alexei Sorella for Forsling and Anton Forsberg, which at the time I think we all were just like, that's good. It's a wash.
Yeah. I liked Antti Sorella because that previous summer.
Alexei Sorella.
Yeah. Antti Sorella is currently an ice hog, maybe. Alexei Sorella, I liked him a lot because that was coming off the summer that the Charlotte Checkers beat the Chicago Wolves in the Calder Cup final. So I saw a bunch of his games in person. He looked like the prize of that.
15 points in 17 AHL playoff games that year.
Yeah, he was a stud that year. He looked like the prize of that. And we had just drafted his brother too, so it was like, hey, here we go. But
cool. And then he refused to be in Rockford.
Well, he's not the first person to do that.
No.
Love Rockford. All right, let's do one more before we go.
Yeah.
Beefaroo.
This is from CK Limiteer? I don't know. Whatever. Imagine a trade of Allen plus Doc plus Toronto's 2025 first-round pick plus pick number 50 in this draft for RFAs, Necas and Gensel, and he's suggesting that the 50th pick would be to add Gensel. Thoughts on that trade?
I think that's too much. I think that's too much. I don't think
that's enough, to be honest with you.
Well, so
Carolina.
if you're saying you're throwing in a pick just to get Gensel's UFA rights, then you still have to sign him.
Right.
So you're giving up the 50th overall pick for his rights?
And then a 2025
That feels
first,
high for his rights.
No.
and 2 guys that you expect to be in the NHL next year or the year after.
Not for a 30-year-old. Like, if you want to do one of those 2 prospects and the first-round pick for just Necas, sure.
Yeah.
But
I don't know, but is Carolina interested in a 2025?
No, Carolina's not interested in
Predictably-
futures.
Right.
That's the thing.
And it's going to be it'll be a lower first. Toronto is still going to be pretty good.
They want now. Help us now.
But I think the idea of 18 to Carolina is like, all right, like
right, yeah.
we can kind of reload things here with the 18th pick, or flip it for an NHL ready, someone who's ready to contribute to them now.
Yeah.
But they don't want to get hawked. They don't want to be in the situation where they're like, oh God, our window is totally closed now. We have nothing to show for it. So 18 is appealing. I don't know if Toronto's pick 2 years a year from now, no one knows what the value that's going to be. No one knows what the draft class necessarily is yet.
Yeah.
That might not be appealing enough. I see where you're at, and it's not. I don't think it's super far off, but
I'm not giving up the 50th pick of the draft
for the rights
to sign a 30-year-old Jake Gensel. No thanks.
I don't think you need to do that much.
That makes zero sense for this organization right now.
If you're trading for rights, it's like,
no,
we're going to throw you a 4th.
Right, yeah.
Because Carolina knows they're not bringing him back.
Right.
But I do think that the Gensel thing very much hinges on Necas. And if they trade Necas, they should be able, or they're going to bring Tavo back or someone back.
Yeah.
With that money.
Or
Pesci or Shea. Yeah, they have a lot.
That might make more sense, actually.
They have a lot of guys that they want to get back. And yeah, if they think that they can get one of those defensemen back because they're trading Necas, then you may not have to give up a defenseman for it because they get one of those guys back.
All right, we got one more before we wrap up. We want to wish a happy 17th birthday to Scott, Iowa.
Nice.
Says, what wish would you 3 have when you blow out your birthday candles? Thanks for all you do.
Say it, otherwise it won't come true.
Great show.
Be 17 again, knowing what I know now.
Yes.
Yeah, really.
That would be awesome.
Yes.
That, and I want a real working lightsaber.
Now you're being greedy. It's your
Yeah.
birthday. I guess
My
you
wish.
All right. Happy birthday, Scott.
Enjoy it,
We
Scott.
appreciate the viewership and the weekly questions.
Enjoy what you do when you're 17 in Iowa.
I mean,
I
when
wouldn't
I
know.
was 17, I was using the internet for far different reasons than listening to hockey
and it was much
podcasts.
slower back then. How many more do we have left for tomorrow?
Oh, we have plenty. We have at least a dozen.
Really?
The
Damn.
sack is still quite full.
Beautiful.
least
Nothing
dozen.
like a full sack. And put that Mando on there, and it's going to be a
Yes.
delightfully scented sack.
Yeah.
All right, we're going to be
And
back
dry.
tomorrow at 2:30. We appreciate everybody being here with us. Again, stay cool, stay hydrated. We'll talk to you tomorrow at 2:30. Thanks for all the great questions. We'll keep them rolling tomorrow on the CHGO Blackhawks Podcast.
We all silly like the mayor.